All right, guys, I want to do a quick devotion on Matthew chapter 8. We're going to start in verse 18. It says, "Now when Jesus saw a crowd around him, he gave orders to depart to the other side of the sea. Then a scribe came and said to him, 'Teacher, I will follow you wherever you go.'" So we see the scribe is expressing an interest in following Jesus, but we don't know his motives in saying such. He could have just wanted to witness more miracles or to be around the hype of the conversation that resulted from the works of Jesus. He could have assumed that life would be easy and comfortable from here on out once he decides to follow, but nothing like this is promised, which is why Jesus knew that this man had not counted the sufferings to be endured. Verse 20 says, "And Jesus said to him, 'The foxes have holes and the birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man has nowhere to lay his head.'" Son of Man is a title that Jesus uses for himself over 80 times in the Gospels. He's saying that even the birds and foxes have a place to sleep that they call home, but I do not. Jesus relied on the hospitality of others to have a place to stay. Verse 21, "And another of the disciples said to him, 'Lord, permit me first to go and bury my father.'" Now, when this man says to first let him go bury his father, it's not that his father had just literally died, or he most likely wouldn't have been there with Jesus, and no doubt Jesus would have let him go and perform his duty as a son in the burial process. This saying would be common for someone who was to get an inheritance after the passing of their father. So he's saying, "I want to follow you, but not quite yet. First, let me get my inheritance, and then I'll be good to go." So he's procrastinating. Verse 22, "But Jesus said to him, 'Follow me and allow the dead to bury their own dead.'" He tells him to let the world worry about worldly things. The kingdom of God is of greater importance. Jesus is not telling either one of these people not to follow him. He is showing the importance of counting the costs and not allowing worldly things to take precedence over him or the duties he has called us to. Remember in Luke chapter 9, verse 62 that Jesus said, "No one, after putting his hand to the plow and looking back, is fit for the kingdom of God." I want to share a quote from the JFB commentary, and it says, "It is not a case of going back, but of looking back. And as there is here a manifest reference to the case of Lot's wife, we see that it is not actual return to the world that we have here to deal with, but a reluctance to break with it. The figure of putting one's hand to the plow and looking back is an exceedingly vivid one, and to an agricultural people most impressive. As plowing requires an eye intent on the furrow to be made and is marred the instant one turns about, so will they come short of salvation who prosecute the work of God with a distracted attention, a divided heart." End quote. So we need to keep our eyes, our hearts, and our attention focused on Christ and keep him as number one. "And you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind, and with all your strength."